Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. Happy Sunday. It is happy Sunday. I'll be forgetting what the day is, child. But happy Sunday to everyone. I was going to do this as a recorded premiere, but I was like, no, just go ahead and do a live because you have not been live in forever. You got to get back on the live algorithm. Okay, so that's why we are here right now. Okay, so whether you are watching this live or watching the replay, thank you for being around here. I have been gone for a week, but I am back, child. Still popping some, medication for my back pain, but I do feel a little bit better. And so we are here to have a quick conversation about the latest episodes of the Braxtons, which I literally just finished watching. It took me some time to get through it, but I was like, I had to fuss about some things on this show, and sometimes fussing about the Braxtons, it can come out better in my life, and we're gonna leave that be. Okay. Now I did review Love After Lockup. That's already up on my channel. So if you watch that show, go ahead and watch that review too. Y'all know to always like, comment, and share this video. Okay. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Become a whole JayBird, and dot. Okay. Also, what else? Like, comment, share, or follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. Okay. But yeah, I watched this episode and I just felt like y'all all using Traci. Okay. Everybody in some way is using Traci for this show, and it just makes me upset. Okay, it upset me and my homegirls or whatever. I mean, Toni, Tawanda, Trina, Tamar, Mama Evelyn, the attorney. Okay, everybody around here, in my opinion, I don't like this. I don't. It seems messy. It seems unnecessary, and it's not. We don't really need this show just for y'all to bring up all the old dirty laundry of the family from before. Now I'm here. Hey, how y'all doing? I took my braids out and ignore this, y'all. This is my heating pad on the back of my chair that sometimes I have to cut on, so I just left it right there. So don't judge me, whatever. Just, but child, I feel like I'm weirdly. I don't know. Girl, took my braids out so the bun is back or whatever. And yeah, we are here. But child, I loved watching Braxton Family Values. Even when they got on all my nerves, I still enjoyed watching the show. And this isn't that. And I don't know if they realize how bad they all look. And it feel like, and that's why on my thumbnail I said where I said it. I said they are the villains against Big Kevin, because that's what this episode gave. I mean, Toni may be the only one not fully the villain because Toni ain't there, okay? And the reason I say Tamar, because Tamar keep going to Tamar, but Tawanda and Trina. I don't know if y'all realize it. I don't know. And I think it's really Tawanda more than Trina, if you ask me. But I said, this ain't a family. Okay, this is some foolishness. It's some fugazi foolishness. I don't know this. I don't want it this. Why is it here this? Take it back to the store this. Okay, miss me with this. And it's crazy how these adult women who have all been married, divorced, single, with children, single parents, blah, 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 bloop. And they're all acting surprised at Traci's husband's surprise and finding out basically she left him out of everything. Okay. And I feel like, how are y'all not understanding why Big Kevin feels some kind of way? Okay, I feel some kind of way too. But y'all, let's just go and let me get my notes out. Hold on. We're gonna get in. That's why I said this needs to be a full live, so I can fully get my thoughts out, talking to y'all or whatever and stuff like that. And then we'll let it be. Okay. So, the first part that we see because Trina, Tawanda, Trina husband Vaughn, and Tawanda boyfriend Sean all go out to DC. Okay. They all go out to DC, not DC, child, to DC, to Maryland. Because that is where Lil Kevin and Daddy Braxton's at or whatever. So they going out there to see them or whatever. They want to see family. Now, and I feel like they trying to, slick slyly, toss in some good wholesome moments of whatever. Oh yeah, let's have some little, yeah, we don't want to see Vaughn walking around naked and la la la. And so me and Sean gonna go get a hotel room because sometimes we like to be. If you are, two adult couples, and if y'all like, look, okay. I'm a firm believer in your home, be comfortable. Okay, in your home, be comfortable. I feel like a lot of people in their own home, you're not walking around fully clothed. I told y'all sometimes when I got my lap, I have to be sure I don't wear a shirt or at least a bra, because sometimes I walk around in my comfort. Okay, we be comfortable around here. Okay, clothes are optional. So I get, both couples saying, well, maybe we didn't get 2 separate housings. Okay, but we didn't need to hear none of that. Okay, anyway, so Vaughn don't wear his wedding ring. At that point, he had lost it. We don't care either. Okay, now Trina then. So that was all that was. We then later on to the scene where, or the four of them again, they went go-kart racing because you're not there just to visit and be there with family. You also there because you want to have some fun. So they went go-kart racing or whatever. And Trina asked Sean, you asked my daddy 4 years ago back in 2020 for his permission to propose to Twanda. Why y'all ain't even engaged yet? You know, how do you ask somebody, you know, if you can marry their daughter and you never proposed? It's been 4 years. So Sean stayed quiet. He didn't have no real answer or whatever, you know, because again, it's 4 years later. Okay. Now Tawana said, well, ain't nobody asked me why he ain't asked me, because that's on him. Okay? I'm not gonna force anyone to propose to me. Okay, that's on Sean. But as we know, Sean proposed and it was caught on camera. So he proposed during the show. Okay, and I said bye, whatever. Okay, so that was their little part around there. Now we then see when we see Traci, not Traci, and Traci, you know, because Toni not there. Toni is somewhere preparing for that tour with her and Seti. Okay, that Vegas show or whatever. So we only see, you know, Toni in itty bitty bits and pieces or in her confessional, and that's it. So Toni round there in the Maybach riding around. She gets a phone call from Trina. And you know, she's like, oh, y'all out there in Maryland or whatever to see Daddy and the kid and whatnot. So what's going on? Because we're worried about little Kevin. And you know, Toni then asked, I don't feel like Toni is fully a villain in this situation, only because she's trying to figure out what the issue is. Okay, she want to know what happened, why we at odds or whatever. So she asked Trina, while y'all are there checking on little Kevin, you know, is there any kind of plan for y'all to talk to Big Kevin? She was like, nope, not at all, not me, no. And Toni, like, it was a big blow up when Traci passed away, and we ain't been on good terms with him since. And I think we all knew that because when Traci passed away, it was all on social media and stuff. Now Toni said, okay, that Traci did not want a funeral. But Big Kevin had one anyway. Okay, it was on the internet, you know. But Toni then said, I know about pillow talk and anyone in marriage and what husband and wives talk about or whatever, and they're private, okay. And because of that, we don't know what Traci and Big Kevin talked about. Okay, maybe Big Kevin needed that for him to be able to heal or whatever. So to be fair, I can't really be fully pissed because I don't know what that husband and wife talked about, because pillow talk, husband wife talk, chit chat. We don't know what we don't know what Traci told Big Kevin that made him feel like, well, I'm gonna just do what I want to do, you know, whatever. And so Toni is at least asking the right questions to get to a solution and not trying to shut down any conversation with Big Kevin, because that's what the issue at. You know, and I can appreciate Toni for trying to be level-headed, because she's the oldest, so she's the older sister, and her saying, you know, we just may have to have some kind of conversation, okay? And then I got my notes out, okay? She said, you know, again, Big Kevin maybe have needed the funeral thing for his him moving on. And she said we need to find out what the reason is, so we can figure out the reason that little Kevin and Big Kevin are at odds. Even if that means that's how we help little Kevin heal. And I was like, well, that makes all the sense. Toni said everything that made all the sense, and she's trying to suggest, hey, maybe talk to Big Kevin. I know we pissed because 2 years ago when Traci died, we all got pissed because he had the funeral. But because I didn't watch it, I Googled it. Okay, I Googled, you know, Traci Braxton funeral. Now on YouTube, okay, I had to Google. Big Kevin did have, and let me say this, in my opinion, there is a difference between someone having a funeral and someone having a memorial. Now, when my dad died in 2015, for years, y'all, for years, my dad told my mama he did not want a funeral. cremate me. I don't want, he said, because I don't want nobody looking at me, nothing. He did not want a funeral at all. It wasn't until the year before he died where he agreed to, okay, y'all can have a funeral. Fine, whatever. However, those were conversations he had verbatim with me, my mom, my sister, you know what I'm saying? But he also, him and my mom, who were married for 30 years or whatever, I don't know, they had their own conversation. Now, when my grandmama on my mama's side passed away, she didn't want a funeral. So they had a memorial service. Okay. And all that is when everybody come together and celebrate the person who died. There's no body, there's no funeral. It's a celebration of life. So when I Googled Traci Braxton funeral, because I'm like, do you have a funeral? I was the body there? I was confused. I'm like, because if she did not want a funeral and he had a public funeral, that would be wrong, in my opinion. But when I Googled it, I said that was a memorial service. Okay. So I got to look now, because it's still on social media, y'all. That's Big Kevin, Lil Kevin, okay? That is Lil Kevin at the time, wife, and then his son, okay? And it was fully a memorial service. They had flowers around there, but not. And also, Traci was cremated before all of this. She had already been cremated and all that stuff. There was no funeral, okay? So I see both sides of it, but I was like, Big Kevin did not have a public funeral for Traci. After she was cremated, per her wishes, he had a memorial celebration of her life. Okay, it was not a funeral. Okay, it was a celebration. It was many people who spoke highly of Traci, and they were celebrating Traci. Okay, her husband was there, her son, her grandson. Now, no one from Traci's family showed up, but in my opinion, in life, they didn't. Okay, in life, Traci had consistently said that she felt like her family was not there for her, that her husband, her child, and her daddy, that's who her closest, that's what was close to her. So now the broadcast on YouTube, child, is because if you Google, let me see, if you go to YouTube, okay, just go to YouTube, and if you Google Traci's funeral, it'll come up a celebration of life. As of today, it has 195,000 views. It is 3 hours and 38 minutes and 51 seconds. Okay, it is fully a celebration of Traci life. And my thing is, the Traci point was, which the lawyer said later on in the episode, Traci did not want a funeral. She did not want anyone looking down upon her. She did not want anyone grieving in that funeral type of way. She wanted someone to celebrate her. You know what I'm saying? And when the parts I looked at, I said, that was a celebration. That was a celebration of Traci. Through how many seasons of the Braxton, how many seasons of Braxton Family Life it was. From season 1 to when it ended, Traci was always treated as a second-class citizen. Okay, as a stepchild, she was always looked at. When I seen one episode when they was at therapy, and Toni said Traci should lose weight, that Traci should not feel happy having a gut. I said, bitch, what? Not Traci can have but the fact that they felt like they could just openly critique her like that. And when Traci out her own mouth said she don't feel, celebrated and loved and embraced by her family. And that is why Traci has stayed in Maryland with her husband till death do us part, period. So while Tawanda and Trina and probably Tamar feel some kind of way about Big Kevin going ahead and having a public memorial celebration of life service for Traci to celebrate the life. Traci was the favorite. I mean, Toni's the voice. Okay, Toni is the voice. We get that. Okay, but once the show came about, people loved Traci for her realness, for how she was able to not care about how she looked to the people when she was speaking her truth. Traci was the favorite. And when you see old episodes and you see even on when they were saying how Traci was upset because years ago when the Braxtons got a deal and the record label told Traci, because at that point Traci was pregnant with Kevin, that she either had to get an abortion or she could not be in the group. Traci chose to keep her baby. Her sister chose to get the deal anyway without her. And from that point on, Traci was upset. Now, my thing is that ain't no different than Tawanda being upset when when Tawanda was upset that Tamar got a solo deal and tried to go solo. Now, Traci may have been mad at her for a long amount of time, but she has a right to be upset. Y'all know back when Toni was pregnant with Zanique, they did not want Toni to keep the baby. When Tamika was pregnant with her first child, an escape. If you just listen to the stories of old artists from the 90s, women who were pregnant, each of them have said before they were pressured by record labels to not keep a child. And some chose to not keep babies. Some chose to keep them and were lucky enough to have a group that supported them. You know what I'm saying? That's why Brandy had to lie and say that she was married to her baby daddy, because the way the industry looked at women who were pregnant, it just wasn't fair. Men could be out here, the child getting everybody pregnant and anybody care. But if you were a female artist and pregnant, it was a look of ugh. So especially if you wasn't married, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they never treated Traci right. Period. You know what I'm saying? So we can't act like, oh, I don't know why she was upset. Why would she be mad? But for a fucking reason, okay? So again, once I Googled I said it wasn't a funeral. It was a memorial service, which technically is what Traci wanted. That's what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? So let's not make Big Kevin, be the villain. Look, that Tawanda and Trina is a villain today. It ain't, and you know what else? The reason I say they the villain today is also because of fucking Mama Braxton. Okay, I feel like Mama Braxton, who was held on to her disdain for her husband for what he did, I think she passed along to her daughters how to stay mad at a man who you feel like did you wrong. And so we're going to stay mad at our sister's husband. How dare you be pissed at your dad's sister's widower? That you pissed at your dad's sister husband because of how he grieved the wife he stayed with when y'all didn't stay with her? How dare you, girl? That damn Tawanda, and I'm gonna say this as well. I don't think the way that, because with Tawanda and with Tawanda, girl, wait, where I'm at point. With Tawanda and Tamar, I still don't feel like Tawanda is the villain in Tamar's story. I still feel like they just have a sibling rivalry. But this thing with Tawanda and Big Kevin, now that's some vengeful stuff. Okay, that's some vengeful stuff. And so at this point, when this show was recorded, Traci has been dead for 2 years. You hold and y'all wonder why Trina is still grieving. Y'all wonder why little Kevin is grieving, because the family's still bickering and she dead, cremated in a vase somewhere on somebody's shelf. Traci ain't here no more, and y'all up here still fussing with her damn dad, her husband. Toni talking to Trina, and was saying to us how there were issues and we were upset, and Traci didn't want the funeral, and look, and Big Kevin had, and I think he did not have a funeral, which also meant, and I get it, when Traci first died, and you're in your feelings. When people die, you're in a thin glass case of emotion, and it take one little crack for it to break, and all hell break loose. So I fully get that 2 years ago when it happened, they were upset. Okay, cool. But once you saw it, and maybe they never watched it. Maybe they never watched it. I don't know. But when I went and I watched, I'm like, well, you knew Traci wasn't there because she was cremated. You knew that. Okay. Wasn't anyone looking down? No one was grieving. They were celebrating her life. So even if 2 years ago when it happened, y'all were pissed, the fact that y'all are not able to realize and understand and comprehend as grown adult women with your own kids, husbands, ex-husbands, and whatever's, y'all can't come to an understanding that Kevin lost his wife. Each one of these women has had a first or second or third husband to get over. Only Trina know about a dead husband. Everybody else have divorced husband. Nobody else knew what it's like to marry someone, be in love with somebody, and they die. You know what I'm saying? To lose your spouse, they die. Okay, so to not want to give Kevin any kind of just give him a little pass because he lost his wife. Y'all don't know how to properly grieve your sister. Can you imagine grieving your spouse that you love? Can you imagine it? We seen how hard we were told how hard Trina grieved for Gabe, and they were divorced. Grieved so hard, Vaughn was pissed and jealous. Okay, so I'm like, why can y'all not give him a little bit of leeway, a little bit of gratitude for him loving Traci so hard? He wanted to be sure that once she was dead, cremated, there was still a celebration of life. Okay, so that pissed me off a lot. And at that moment, I said, I have to do this live. I can't do recording, but let's make things clear. Traci did not want a funeral. She didn't have one. There was a memorial celebration after she was cremated. That's it. And the man who she married stayed with the whole time, okay? And we're not saying they stuff, my eyes are going crazy. We're not saying their marriage was perfect, but they was chopped to death to his part. So y'all, they got on my nerve, okay? So when Toni then said to Trina, look, I just want to know what happened, because we don't know what Traci and Kevin talked about in their marriage. We're basing it off of what Traci said to us and stuff, but we don't know what Traci told her husband. And let me tell you something. If I learned nothing else from Ronnie, and my birth father passed away last month, well, not been almost 2 months ago, when Ronnie passed away, and this transparency, people tell different people different things. I had an uncle that passed away who he wasn't married, but however, he told my mama one thing, told the mothers of his children some things, okay, told his kids, his two kids, like he told different people different shit. And when he passed away, it was so many conversations based on who he told what to, and he had no will. And that caused some conflict. Okay, with my worst Ronnie, birthday passing away. He told my sister the most. Okay. However, because other folks said he said other things, some people feel like, well, he told me this. Well, he ain't told nobody. It was saying, so it's like I have seen verbatim how people do tell different people different things at different points in life. That's why get you a will. Get you a will, have you a beneficiary. So that way, when you go on, that's just what it is. Okay. Now Traci did that. However, it seems the shit she probably told Big Kevin, she did stuff differently on paper. And that, in my opinion, is not Big Kevin's fault or Lil Kevin's fault. You know what fault that is? And y'all gonna get mad at me. That's Traci's fault. You wanna know why? Because if you told your son one thing, but your husband something different, and when you die, one of those people is blindsided. The only person who did it was Traci. And now the people who are left alive is left to handle the fallout from people not knowing what you wanted because you possibly told them something different. Okay. So when Toni was saying, like, we don't know what Traci and Big Kevin discussed as husband and wife, we don't know what happened and blah, blah, blah. And that's true. Toni was saying the absolute truth. We do not know what Traci told Big Kevin. Big Kevin could have honestly and wholeheartedly been under the impression that when my wife died, she wants me to handle things like I'm her husband. And usually, when somebody's in a marriage and they have kids, sometimes stuff do go through the parents and then trickle down to the child, especially if your husband is your child's father. Now, sometimes we know if people be married and they divorce, or if their kids are not by the spouse, they sometimes will say, skip the spouse, my kids, because who you're married to are not a direct link to your children. So again, it's a whole lot, it's a whole lot of stuff that's weird. Okay. So Trina then said, well, no, when Traci died, I was there. Okay. I was there when she died. It wasn't no conversation. It wasn't no, Traci couldn't even talk when she died. Okay. And I'm like, y'all, child, they give us all this information. Okay. Because her saying when Traci towards the end, because it was, esophageal cancer, she couldn't talk. So Trina's point was Traci could not have told Big Kevin anything in the end because she couldn't talk. Okay. And I said, man, before she stopped, I don't know. But Traci told us what she wanted, you know what I'm saying? And so that's that. And I'm like, cool. That's cool, whatever. But with this scene, in my opinion, I still feel like Toni is the only person who was attempting to I just saw this, like, welcome back, bitch. I'm here. I miss y'all. I've been gone for a week and I miss y'all. He was there too. I think Traci's husband was always there. I think the point was, like, I forgot I switched around my thing. Hold on, because I can't see nothing. Okay. Traci point. I think Trina's point was, I was in the room too. I don't think her point was he wasn't around, But this made me laugh. And I think, welcome back, bitch. I miss y'all too. But with this, Toni is the only person trying to acknowledge we mad at Kevin. Okay. We mad at Kevin. But she's also trying to fix it and not let it keep being broken. And to me, the other sisters are still trying to leave it broken. Traci dead. We don't have to talk to Big Kevin. And I'm like, well, that's gonna cause a rift between who Big Kevin and Little Kevin, in my opinion. Okay. But next up, we see who was talking. Oh, it was Tamar. Tamar, was on the We Sound Crazy podcast. Now, I had seen the podcast when it aired or whatever. I'm not a Tamar hater. Y'all don't like Tamar's music. I really do. However, Tamar, for some, like right now, I want to acknowledge I cannot unbiasedly talk about Tamar because as of right now, Tamar irks my nerves. Based on current shenanigans that Tamar does, when I watch stuff that she says on the show, it just makes me feel like Tamar full of shit. So I just want to make sure I'm telling y'all, I'm aware that it may come off as I hate Tamar, I don't like Tamar, and it's not that. I wholeheartedly believe she is talented. She's an amazing singer. She can act as well. Okay. However, Tamar as an individual, as a person on these shows, and her antics makes it impossible for me to sometimes see things her way because it seemed like she's always full of shit. Okay. So even her saying, well, We Sound Crazy, and that's the first time I saw the We Sound Crazy podcast, I want to say Latasha Scott was on it. It wasn't with Tamar, but she said before I did the podcast, her friend is the guy who started it. And she's like, I've been knowing him for 5 years, and we told him that he wanted to do a podcast. I was supportive or whatever. I've known him for 5 years. She said, however, before I did the podcast, okay, it wasn't well known. And now they're on their 100th episode, so I had to come back. I was like, see, now why you? My thing is, I would never, I feel like when people like to say, well, before I stepped in, no one knew you. And then I stepped in and you get popping. I was like, see, that's that bullshit. If you are truly friends with somebody, you would never say, well, they wanted to do this. And I said, okay, cool. And I'm gonna come help you. And then once I did it, just say they're talented and they pop in because they're great. Don't make it seem as if to me, that made me feel like that's her saying, well, before me, they didn't know people didn't, and now I was like, it made me mad. It made me upset. I'm not for real, but I'm saying, like, I was like, no, you didn't need to say that. Just say, I have a good friend at a podcast. I pop on here and there or whatever, but they're a great podcast. It's a great podcast. Y'all should listen to it. Not before me, it wasn't shit, and now it's popping. Anyway, I hate talking about myself, but I have my book coming out. I'm working on an album. I have some spiritual candles. When she said she has spiritual, I said, I am careful who I let in my spirit. And I would not want no spirited candles from Tamar. Not today, not ever. Okay. But she said, like, I'm working on my mental health and how I be needing, because she said mental health issues really need to be spoken about out loud. Okay. Because it can save a life. And I said, Tamar, where was that when you was on social media using your mental health as a advertisement for your songs? When she made it seem like I'm gonna go back in treatment. Oh my God, it's so much. And then went on to see if I post negative stuff. I don't like it when anybody use mental health situations to get attention for selling shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. So I'm like, her, I'm always working on. No, because you use that shit for attention and I don't like it. Okay? Get out my face. Anyway, she did, because they said, well, how do you, look at yourself to be better, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I push myself to be better for my son. You know what I'm saying? I want him to be proud of me. I want to be proud of myself. I want to be happy, blah, 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 blah. And I said, okay, I don't care. I was like, I don't care. I don't care. Because it's all bullshit. This was recorded, since this recording, there has been many social media bullshit antics of Tamar. So that's why when seeing her talk, I'm like, I can't fully accept her humility because I feel like it's a fucking bullshit. I feel like Tamar is always putting on for the cameras so people will feel sorry for her. And I don't like that. I don't like it. They then asked him, why did you return to, and I'm paraphrasing how they asked the question. This is my version of that question. They said, well, they said, how or why did you return to the show? And in my head, it meant, hey, why did you take my Braxton come back to WeTV? Because you had all those accusations against them before. And I think a lot of folks do the same thing. Like, you accused them of being like slave owners, whatever. You dogged WeTV. Now I know she said since then there are other people in management roles not there, and who they worked with before aren't there anymore. I don't care if somewhere I worked was that toxic, I'm not going back for no amount of money. I'm gonna move on because if that don't work for my mental health, why would you go back? Okay, she then said, well, it was important for Traci again. They're using Traci. Okay. She said, well, it was important to Traci to see, for people to see what she went through. And I was like, but we're not really seeing, we're not fully seeing what Traci went through. Yes, we have seen little snapshots, little flashbacks of her, sick, and with them dancing. Like we have seen that a little bit. However, we don't really know what she went through. We're hearing second, third hand stuff from her sisters. We ain't hearing shit from Big Kevin, just the sisters. Anyway, Traci wanted it to happen. You know what I'm saying? She said when Traci was on her deathbed, I told her I would do it. My mom had asked me to do it as well. I agreed. I was the last one to sign on. And to me, that's shady. Like, oh, Toni, Tawanda, everybody but me was okay. And I was the last one because she wants to me, in my opinion, she wants the narrative to be, I don't need the show, but I did it for them. I don't need. It's like, ma'am, sir, whatever. Okay. She then said the story on the show, that wasn't my real story. Nobody was able to see me for who I really was. I said, well, who are you? Who are you? I said, look, Tamar, outside of Braxton Family Values, outside of Vince and Tamar and Vince, outside of that show you had with you and David, outside of the show you had where you met Lil JR on the Lil Day Show, outside everything, every show you've been on, you've been the same. You are no different on WeTV than you've been on anything else. You're no different on WeTV or anything else than you've been on your own social media. So it's like, you can't make it seem as if, well, WeTV showed me in a way that wasn't really me and no one got to see who I really was. And I was like, but when you yourself post your own content on your own, because you control your social media, you control your YouTube, you control your own narrative now. And what you've shown the fans who love you, who buy your music, you have shown you are that same bratty, childish, messy Tamar that we saw on WeTV. When you went to your concert, the Love and War concert, and after Tommy came out and said that JR ate her ass. You went on that stage and said, I'll be damned if I let a crackhead take my man. You did that. You were being messy on a concert stage, calling Tommy a crackhead in defense of her fucking around with your dude. So when Tamar say stuff like, that wasn't me on that show. No one got, and I'm like, well, who are? Because that show ended in 2020. That show, I think it was when the Braxton's Family Values. I believe it started in maybe 2001. Let me Google. Let me Google. Braxton Family Value. Girl, I'm just trying to figure it out. What can I? Oh, when did it come out? First episode aired April 12th of 2011. Okay. Meaning y'all probably was filming sometime in 2010. So from 2010 to 2020, when the show, finished, wrapped up, you showed us who you were. It's also a thing where sometimes your musical people don't need to be on reality TV. When Kelly Price got on R&B Divas, it ruined her career. Because she was no longer this gifted singer. Kelly Price, Nikki Gilbert, LaTasha Scott, Tamar Braxton, when some of our favorite Chop T.I. I love T.I. until he got on TV. And I said, that's you? Oh, I can't stand it now. A lot of artists have gotten on TV shows and their reality shows, and we realized, oh, we don't really like you. Yeah, we don't really like you. Okay. Tamar is extremely talented, but aggravated. Okay. So she then said, I now know, how I'm easily triggered, okay, by the show, by my family. Cause let's toss the family triggering you up under the bus. Okay. She said, so now for me, like a part of me coming back, there's always a therapist on set at all times. Okay. She said, the picture being painted of me, Tamar said, the picture being painted of me, I feel is not me. Now, at least she said she feel like it ain't her. We see it's her. But the get you got you is she may not see herself in that way, even if that's how she is. That could be a part of her mental. I don't know. Okay. She said, so it's hard for me to deal with, seeing that portrayal of me if that ain't me. Okay. She said, my past traumas has held me back from being my best self. Now that's true. Fix that shit. Okay. But I'm better now because this time I know when to say when. I said, girl, bye. Kiss my grits, okay? Later on, she was working out, and she said, the book she writing, child, I will finally be honest about, me and Vince and the show. And I said, I don't care. I don't care. If child Tamar can come out with this book, and the book can say Vincent was tossing me all around the house. He was beating me. He embezzled money. I don't care. Not because I feel like she deserved any bad treatment, but I feel like you are trying to now speak on stuff when before you were dogging people for going through things. You were dogging Trina about her and Gabe cheating. You were dogging Tawanda about Tawanda husband at the time, Andre, not being able to keep a job. Okay. She talked shit about Toni's husband who was attached to Toni because of her being famous. Okay. That dinner scene where she said, your husband is and your husband is and la la la. But this right here is totally different. Tamar dogged her sister's husbands when in hindsight, her husband wasn't shit either. Her husband wasn't shit either. So to now want to be honest while you sat and talk cash shit about this real, because in real life, sometimes spouses do cheat. In real life, sometimes folks can't get a job. Hell, we still don't know what Tawanda's job been for the past 30 years, besides being Toni's assistant. And your sister being your sister's assistant don't mean Andre not shit if he at home with the kids. Okay? So let's call a thing. You talk cash shit about your sister's husband, and now you want to be honest about your hardships, but you wanted to air them out and make them feel less than because we knew about their issues, and you kept yours under wraps. And the fact that you were having money issues, this was having money issues. Your life has not been better because of Vince. You've been struggling since. So to me, Tamar, because usually people write books, we haven't heard them talking cash shit about other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were like, damn, that's what happened, girl. We had no idea. But Tamar has sat up here and just critiqued and talked shit and felt like she was better than other people, when in truth, Tamar's life was a false representation of marriage. Anyway, I don't want that book. Not at all. Okay. And I was upfront. I told y'all I cannot support Tamar, her bullshit, because I see through it. If Tamar was really somebody who had went through the trenches and gotten like for instance, y'all make like y'all ain't like this. I feel like Shawnee O'Neal, well, not Shawnee Henderson. I feel like who Shawnee was with Shaq, even who she was on that show, Basketball Wives. I do feel like Shawnee now is a different Shawnee. Now, she's not perfect, but I can say I follow her now. So I follow her and her husband. And I can feel like Shawnee has changed. She not all the way fixed. But I do feel like Shawnee has grown up. You know what I'm saying? And Shawnee has had to eat some crow to get to where she is. Okay, I think Tamar has lived on being a shady, great singing assassination lady or whatever, and she leans on her gay friends for protection. Okay, she do not have many women. The reason Tamar do not have many women around her because women will hold her accountable. Gay men just accept your bullshit and shade you on it. That's why Tamar is surrounded by gay men, because they're not going to check and critique her. They're going to anyway, let me stop. First of all, look, 1 hour. Y'all take some time, y'all, and we're gonna have a little dance break, okay? But y'all like the video, okay? Have y'all subscribed to my channel? Like the video and subscribe, and have a good old Tamar dance break. child. I'd be let Tamar finish a little dance on now. Anyway, the Tamar dance break, I think, is the longest dance break I have. And I had to let it play. Okay. But back to the foolishness. And I hope y'all did like this video. Okay, and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Anyway, the next scene we see is a family dinner scene. Now, it was too many people for me to get a good, you know what I'm saying, a good picture of them all. It was Tawanda and Sean, okay, the bald-headed brothers and sisters. Well, the bald-headed couple, okay. But Tawanda looked good with her bald head. She do, okay. Her head better than Sean's. Anyway, Tawanda and Sean, you know, Trina and Vaughn, Daddy Braxton, and Mikey. We rarely ever see Mikey. You know, Mikey's the brother, and we don't see him often. So Mikey was there, and then of course, Lil Kevin. And next to Lil Kevin is Mikey's son, Mikey Jr. Okay, I don't think we've ever seen Mikey Jr. to my knowledge. I don't know, but I was sitting and I was looking. And I said, oh, I never, because we never see Mikey that often, I never realized how much he looked like Mama Braxton. I was like, oh, because I was like, oh, that's Mama Braxton. Yeah, I said, like, they all are like a perfect mixture of their mom and their dad. But I don't think I've ever really, you know, saw Mikey just sitting there like this, you know what? I'm like, oh, he look like his mama. Okay. Also, you know, this scene to me had a few things going on, and that's why I could not fully get the right pictures, because I was like, it was conversations between, you know, Trina and it's full conversations. Okay, you know, like they came in at first, it was just Tawanda, Sean, and Daddy Braxton, and Daddy Braxton asked Sean, yeah, why haven't you proposed to my daughter yet? Okay, I got something in the works. I'm gonna let you know. Okay, but as I said earlier, we know that Sean proposed to Tawanda while they filmed the show, and that was on social media. Okay. Anyway, when little Kevin gets there, you know, there is a grief that people who have not lost a child or have not lost a parent, like, it's stuff you just don't get yet. You know what I'm saying? I said, like, my dad died back in 2015. Like, my aunt Sherry, passed away in 2014. My mom's best friends, my cousin, my favorite cousin's mom, and when she died, I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? I did not understand my cousin's pain. But when my daddy died, and I remember I was in the bathroom of the hospital at St. John Hospital, whatever, and my cousin Nate walked in, and I swear to God, the moment I looked up and she looked at me, and I looked at her, I was like, something clicked in my head, and I was like, this is what she felt. And I'm like, when they like, you don't get it. You don't get it. So people don't get, there is a grief that Lil Kevin is going through that he not even old enough, or because Kevin is a baby. Kevin is a baby. Look, Kevin's a baby. So to me, there are still things he don't even know how to properly express. Okay? The only reason I'm able to express certain shit to y'all in my way is because I've experienced it. You know what I'm saying? So a part of me is upset because I'm like, y'all don't even know really what he's going through. You know what I'm saying? Now, from that, I feel like they're discussing Lil Kevin's grief. Okay? And I'm like, y'all keep wanting him to reach out to y'all. And I'm like, he don't know what to say. He don't know what to say. Okay, that boy don't know because when he feels sad, he don't know what that is. He don't know what you numb. You numb for like a good 6 months. You know, so he's still in that numbness because to me, he and Traci was so close. He was a bit sheltered. You know what I'm saying? And he lost the footing. He lost the ground from up under him with his mom and dad. And now he just walking and he like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm walking on these floors. I ain't never, you know what I'm saying? So they are asking him to do something when he don't know what he doing. So while they think they trying to help him, child, they really confuse him a little bit more, if you ask me. Now, like, why don't you reach out? He said, look, when he said, I reach out when it's like an emergency, and they're like, well, why not reach out before that? He said, because I'm a man, you know what I'm saying? And if I keep reaching out to y'all, like, how am I gonna know how to handle things? And to me, that is a step in the direction of usually in life. My mom was always there to help me, and because she helped me so much, I don't have her now. I need to figure out how to help myself. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes if I am sad, depressed, or whatever it may be, I can't reach out to y'all. He also said, because y'all got your own shit going on. Y'all also grieving. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that he said, I can't always reach out to y'all every time I feel. Because I'm like, when you did I cry yesterday? I look between my dad dying in 2015, birth father died back in July. I be an emotional wreck sometimes for no reason because grief hits like a Mack truck, and you like, what the fuck has happened? I was pouring some water. What? You know what I'm saying? So he don't have the time to call y'all because grief hits and it just hits. You know what I'm saying? So I liked him saying, I'm okay. I call y'all when it's like an emergency. When I can't take it. You know what I'm saying? And I need them to get. He not gonna call y'all every time he's sad. I don't call anyone when I'm sad. You know why? Because it's for me to handle. But if I feel some kind of way and I'm talking to someone else, I emote what I emote. You know what I'm saying? And look, Kevin is having to walk through this shit like most other kids. And also, he's the only child. So he doesn't even have a sibling to even try to, bounce his emotions off of, you know what I'm saying? And even sometimes if you have siblings, each sibling handles like I am the emotional child. I am the emotional one. Whereas my sister and my brother are not. We all express ourselves differently. We all grieved differently. But I still at least had siblings to grieve with when our dad died at 15, then when my dad this past month, you know what I'm saying? It's just different or whatever. So it's like, y'all have to walk it with him and let him handle things how he handles things. Okay. So they said, but we feel like you don't reach out to us, okay? And we won't. Now when the uncle when Mikey, the uncle, the brother, he said, look, that's fine that you want to be able to handle it on your own. Cool. But we don't want you to feel like that you can't reach out to us. Even if you think we have our own shit, still reach out. You know what I'm saying? He also said, because we won't handle it for you, but we can let you know that it's okay. It's okay to feel how you feel. Because sometimes a part of grief is you feel guilty for either being sad too long, or if you're not sad enough, or are you supposed to be angry? Because sometimes I'm like, my friend Mom passed away. She said, "Am I wrong for being mad?" And I was like, no. But some people do question their own emotions, and so you bottle it up, and you may not know. It's okay if you're upset. That's okay. It's also okay if you feel like you don't want other people wanting you to help them make you feel better. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that the uncle said, we won't help you with it, but we can let you know how you feel is okay. And sometimes that's enough for someone to say to you, for you, oh, I'm not crazy then. You know? And the way that Daddy Braxton and Brother Braxton talk to little Kevin, I love the fact that it do seem like there is a closeness and an open communication between them, to where he he can call them, and that's great. Now, Mikey, the brother, y'all know Mikey, the niece. Remember, Mikey's daughter is the Braxton niece that passed away, I believe, in 2020 from a drug overdose. So he, 2 years before losing his sister, he lost his daughter, and she was young too. I think she's like in her 20s. So that was his daughter. So he's also a grieving father. So Daddy Braxton and Mikey both know what it's like to lose a daughter within 2 years of each other. One passed away from, cancer, the other passed away from, drugs and everything. But still, that grief is, and even that's probably why they're both saying to look, Kevin, look, we can't fix shit for you. However, we can still be there for you when, we know it gets hard in the grief. Okay. And he said, look, we here for you. Okay. We get your grief and blah, 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 blah. So I loved having Mikey there, and Daddy Braxton. That to me, I'm also happy they don't be on this show much, because I think if they were, there could be a different fallout vibe, and whatever. So we're going to see. Now, they then talk about how Traci basically left everything to look Kevin. So let's just talk about it. Okay, let's just discuss it. Now, y'all know in life, if you were married, as I said earlier, if you're married, some people leave stuff to the spouse. If you have kids, if they're younger kids, the spouse, blah, 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 blah. Now, the fact that Big Kevin is little Kevin's father, he and Traci was married, for I think 30 years till she died. Is it weird to me that Traci put everything in little Kevin's name? It's not weird. However, I can understand if Big Kevin was shocked if he just didn't know she did that. But they brought up how, again, Traci basically left stuff to little Kevin, for him to make decisions, her likeliness, all that stuff is up to little Kevin. Okay. And he said because of that pissed his daddy off. Okay. And so with that, I said, okay, we're not, first of all, this show should not be about Trina's death and the beef with Big Kevin if we're not going to hear from Big Kevin. So to me, they're using Traci because you're using this shit, but we're not getting the other side of it. We're only getting their version of things. You know what I'm saying? So again, look, Kevin said because, he was left to handle whatever, Daddy pissed off. Okay. Mikey then said, like, and I love what Mikey said this. Mikey said, your dad's probably is saying stuff to you that you don't get. You don't understand because, again, you were not in their marriage. So whatever he's upset about, he's probably upset about it from a point of view of, but this is what me and Traci talked about. And something else was done that I didn't know. Now my wife dead, and I kind of have no control over nothing. and that wasn't what I expected, you know. And to me, no one should be able to say how Big Kevin felt if they're not going, even if Big Kevin don't film with the sisters, Big Kevin should at least film with Lil Kevin, somebody, even if he filmed by himself, and it says how he felt. And to me, I don't understand how any of them don't get Big Kevin's upsetness that once his wife died, he had control of nothing. Because in most marriages, that's not typical, unless it was a trouble marriage. They were on the brink of divorce. You know, that's when we know it was some bullshit afoot. And so, you know what I'm saying? But to the naked eye, from what we were told, from what we saw, um, Traci and Big Kevin were still in a loving marriage. From what we knew, she wasn't planning to leave him. We knew there were rumors before that he had possibly cheated, but Traci stayed with him. They tore down those rumors of him having a kid, and all of that stuff was addressed before the last show ended. You know, so I fully can understand, and we can only go off of what Lil Kevin has said and what the sister said. Okay, so them saying Big Kevin is upset because he does not control anything. I said that makes sense to me, because what Mary's spouse be like, oh, okay, yeah, I knew she would give stuff. That usually happens again when it's your second marriage, and like Trina is married to Vaughn. Vaughn is Trina's third husband. Trina's sons are through her first marriage. God forbid if Trina was to die, I would fully understand if Trina left stuff to her children and not to Vaughn, because she has children that are her legacy, and Vaughn was her third husband. I could get that. You know what I'm saying? Because some people do make sure their children are, you know, the first thing. But with Trina and with Traci and Big Kevin, to me it was not weird. But I was, oh, he can control nothing. Okay. And that's if what they discussed was different. But we don't know it because they won't allow Big Kevin to speak on a show where they are tearing down that man's character. They are tearing down that man's character, and truthfully, him and Tracy's marriage. But Mikey told, look, Kevin, your dad is telling you stuff that you don't get because you were not in their marriage. And at times, parents tell their kids one thing and the spouse something else. He said, I know that because my kids' moms have told them stuff. And, you know, I know how sometimes, and I told y'all, my uncle died, child, told one child one thing, so the other child something different. And when uncle passed away, child, the feuds, because each person thinks they're doing what they were told by the dead person, and the dead person don't, people do different things. Okay. And it's just like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Okay. So when he said, look, it's just it's stuff you don't get, but your mama left you to you. Okay. He said, but it's not your fault. Okay. You and your daddy are both dealing with grief, but it's not your fault that your mom left stuff to you. Even if your dad made you feel that way, it's not your fault. Period. Okay. And I agree. Even if Big Kevin is grieving and if Big Kevin is trying to blame Lil Kevin, that is wrong. But that's also a part of the grief. And if no one is talking about the shit, if no one's being transparent in it, everybody is operating out of trauma, grief, and foolishness. Okay. Now, when Tawanda bald-headed ass said, "Oh, Kevin is," and I'm paraphrasing, so like, no, Big Kevin is a vile person to blame Lil Kevin or make him feel guilty about what Traci did. And I'm like, truth be told, it's Traci's fault. And I know y'all don't want to hear that. When Ronnie died, I told y'all, look, when my bio father died, and I told y'all back in July, I said, look, y'all be sure to have life insurances. Be sure to have wills. Be sure to put people's name on shit. Because it's unfair when you die and people are then having to handle shit for you. It's also wrong if you tell one person one thing, you go do another thing on paper, and once you gone, people are being shocked to find out that what you've been saying ain't actual or factual. You know what I'm saying? At all. Now, luckily for me in my life, in my immediate family, like we didn't have no big old issues. Like my dad passed away back 15. Child, him, mom, it was easy, not easy, but stuff was in order. I'm saying when Ronnie passed away. Luckily, even though he had life insurance, this and that, he just ain't had nobody name on shit. And you got 5 kids, having to go, having to get things in order. It just takes time. You know what I'm saying? So people, you need to just have shit in order and stop telling different people different shit. Okay. So to me, because I told my sister, I said, it's Ronnie's fault that we had to do stuff. Because, you put names on, you can't just tell somebody, yes, I want you to handle this for me. If you don't have that in writing somewhere, sometimes that can cause an issue. Okay? If you don't know, that can cause an issue. Anyway. But Tawanda is the villain in this scenario. She fully wants Kevin to be the villainous husband of her dead sister, and he's torturing my nephew, and how dare he, da, 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 da. And I was like, it's because no one's talking. No one's talking. And it doesn't mean that Traci was wrong for putting Lil Kevin as the person to do things. What makes it wrong is that she never told Big Kevin. I get why she did it. It's her son. She wants to be sure. Traci look, this is gonna sound mean too, and I don't care. Anyone who look at Lil Kevin is not mature enough to handle shit. He not even able to handle his own life shit. You know what I'm saying? He still has some maturity because he was babied. He was his mama's only. He was Traci's baby. So some stuff Traci did for him. So he also has growing up to do. Okay, that's point 1. However, I forgot what I was saying. My point is, I get why she left him stuff. However, I don't know if he's able to really handle it without help. So I feel like what should have happened was, I want everything to go to Lil Kevin, and I want Trina to help him get prepared. Or I want my lawyer to help him get prepared and blah, 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 blah. Okay? So that could also be why Big Kevin was shocked, because he know Lil Kevin ain't mature enough to handle the shit. Okay? So to me, I felt like that's probably what angered or aggravated Big Kevin. However, within grief, arguments, emotions, and feelings, tiny fights broke out between Big Kevin, Little Kevin, between the sisters and Big Kevin, and the cause of just, and no one's fixed it since. Period. Okay, and they all tell Little Kevin that regardless, no matter what your daddy said about, okay, Traci's decision was to leave it up to you to handle shit when she's not here. Now, in my opinion, he ain't ready. He ain't ready. He ain't ready. Okay? And period. He will be. He will be. You know, he's gonna have to get, prepared, get things in place. So that whole dinner scene was a lot. Okay. Now we then seen Trina. Trina took Little Kevin to see the family attorney. The family now the reason I found this a little bit different, a little bit weird, okay, was because now remember that when it was just the sisters, Traci was always not really included in the thing. So I'm like, has he always been the family attorney for Traci too? I'm just wondering because I don't know. Because you never know. Okay. But when we see Trina take Little Kevin to see this, I said, oh Lord Jesus. Okay. Now look, y'all know we've been an hour and 20 minutes. We got one more scene left. So y'all like the video. Because you have to also like the video, okay? Yeah, Trina, the lawyer, and Little Kevin. Now, to me, I feel like they are using Traci for each of their own storylines. It's weird to me, and I'm just confused, okay? Now, I like the fact that she took him there to give him a peace of mind about his mom's last days, her decision making and who should do what. So Little Kevin, told the man, hey, look, I feel like, my dad feel like, he said, look, Kevin said, my dad feel like my mama wasn't in her right mind when she made certain decisions. Okay. Like she was pressured or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So because of that, me and him are at odds, because he feel like something ain't right. Okay. He said my father felt blindsided. I said, okay. He said my dad felt blindsided by putting everything in my hands. Now again, Big Kevin probably feel like one of these people, it probably plus Mama Braxton. Big Kevin probably feel like the mama thought or was pressured by wanting somebody here, to change things. But when he said my daddy felt blindsided, to me, when someone say the daddy felt blindsided, that probably meant he had no idea Traci would not have him control nothing. You know, blindsided means I had no idea this was coming. I had no idea she didn't trust me. I had no idea she did not trust me to do right by her once she was gone, and she only could trust our son and didn't feel comfortable enough to tell me that. So to me, blindsided, and the fact that look, Kevin used that word, I think it gives a little bit of light to the fact that whatever conversations Traci had with Big Kevin, he didn't know this. So to me, blindsided is a fair feeling of a spouse to have once the person die and they can't control nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that Lil Kevin was asking the right questions. Because again, this is a lawyer who did the paperwork. Okay. Lawyer said, look, okay, and his little shirt, okay, little red shirt or whatever. It's not red, it's like burgundy. He said, look, I had many visits with your mom. Okay, many visits, okay. And each time, and he also said, I talked to her, our visits was before her health declined. This was not in her last days. There was stuff that she had set up well before she died. Okay. Also, Traci gave me permission to record our meetings. And when he said, because she felt like somebody could try to question, what she put in motion. Now, that could mean whoever, her husband, Jesus, Lazarus, I don't know, anybody could question whatever. And so he said, oh, you recorded all? He's like, yeah, I recorded all of our meetings. So that way anyone can see she was in her right mind every time she made any decision. He said, Traci knew exactly what she was doing and who she wanted to control everything. And it was you. It was you. Now, I think that's fine. My only issue is she did not tell the husband. Okay. When he said, Traci was absolute in her decisions. Okay. Meaning she was not on her deathbed. She was not, delusional. She was not coerced. She was not, led astray. Okay. She was absolute in her thinking, and she knew what she wanted and who she wanted in control of her likeness, her brands, and all. Because like Traci Braxton, even though she ain't Toni, she's still Traci Braxton. There is still a legacy for her as well. And any money that's made, that it's great that she wanted him to control it. I get it, okay? Again, but still, a conversation with your husband may have been needed, okay? Now, Trina then said how she was there for some of these meetings, okay? But a lot of stuff Traci wanted to be kept between her and her attorney, meaning it's some stuff I don't know that her husband didn't. My thing is this: even if there were things Traci did not want her husband to know, to me, if Trina knew stuff that her husband did not know, that it's just stuff people did not know. Guess what we don't know? Nothing. Because this is the thing. The reason we can say he did not know is because no one on this show will let him to the side. Even if Big Kevin lying, we won't know because the Braxtons are not allowing him to tell his side. We're only hearing partial stuff from them and their upsetness. And Lil Kevin is saying, my dad felt blindsided. My dad felt he surprised. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lil Kevin not even saying nothing besides my dad felt hurt. And because he's hurt, he pissed at me. You know? To me, everybody could be lying. We don't know. We have not heard from Traci because she dead. We ain't heard from Big Kevin because they won't allow him on the show. Okay? It's all hearsay, period. What we do know is that there's things that Big Kevin did not know, period. And we know that from stuff they all done said. Okay? Now, Lil Kevin then said, well, as I was growing up, my mama told me little stuff. She would say little stuff or whatever. And at one point, she told me what she wanted and how she would leave stuff to me to see. So he said I was not fully surprised because she said little stuff over the years. You know, but the fact that Trina was present for some lawyer things, but Big Kevin wasn't. You know, child, what was going on? Was Kevin hold her hostage all them years that we didn't know? Okay. Lil Kevin then said the only thing she changed her mind about was the fact that she no longer wanted the funeral. She did not want a funeral or a viewing. So to me, that probably means at one point she did want one. He said, but she changed her mind about that towards the end. And the lawyer then said, Traci said she did not want anyone grieving, looking down on me, and she only wanted people to celebrate my life. And I said, that's what the memorial was. That memorial was a celebration. Okay, it was a full-fledged celebration of Traci. So earlier on, when they get Traci didn't want a funeral, I'm like, this was not a funeral. Big Kevin and them had a memorial service for Traci after she died, after she was cremated. She in the urn. It was a celebration of life. So the lawyer saying she only wanted to be celebrated. She did not want to be mourned. I'm like, to me, that's technically what it was. You know, and the fact that is what made them be pissed at Big Kevin, to me, is stupid. Because if you see right here, if little Kevin was there, two years ago, two years ago, little Kevin was there. So I feel like, well, some ain't there. I don't know what it is. Okay, so again, it's a bunch of mess. Okay. And look, Kevin said, he said, what I do know is, my dad don't get it. That he like my dad, like he married into the family. I was born. I said, ooh, not shaking your daddy. Now look, technically, Traci name was Traci Braxton, something else. Okay, whatever Kevin last name was. I feel like a reason, child, look, y'all know I be trying to be fair sometimes, okay? But to me, the fact that your aunties and them at some points wasn't even there for your mama. Your daddy was. And now that your mom is gone, and now her siblings want to be, the strong force of love, when that wasn't what it was before. A part of me feel like I don't want him to feel as if I have more of a claim to Traci Braxton because I'm her son. Because she married Big Kevin married Traci when we didn't know who the Braxtons were. You know what I'm saying? So Big Kevin married your mama before your auntie was famous. So a part of me doesn't want him to feel like, well, I was born and no, when you child, they didn't want your mama in the thing. So part of me doesn't want him to feel like his dad is this outside person and he is a true Braxton when I don't think his last name was Braxton. I'm just saying, I don't want the bullshit that's going on between his aunties and his daddy to make him feel like he has to choose a side. I don't want him to feel like I have to choose the Braxton side because my mama was a Braxton. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part why I feel like they are using Traci as their storyline. They're making Big Kevin be the villain. And Tawanda has this vindictiveness to her when it comes to Big Kevin and how she discusses the Big Kevin. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I feel like it's not fair because over the course of the years, there has been a discourse between the family, between Mama Braxton, Daddy Braxton, all the sisters, the show. Let's not forget how Traci brought up that when Daddy Braxton and Mama Braxton broke up, they were pissed at her for still loving the daddy. And which caused dishes between her and the family. And when Traci still wanted to film the show because it was a source of income for her and she still wanted it, each sister said, peace, and left Traci to film by herself. And that's when that weird shit happened with Faye. Girl, it was weird shit. Let's not forget at that point in time when her and Tamar was beefing and, they was not talking to Traci. So I feel like there's so much this family has went through. It's not so cut and dry to where it's like, yes, we should side with the Braxtons and we should say, well, because Traci left it all to Lil Kevin, forget Big Kevin. I'm like, it ain't that easy. But if Lil Kevin is based off of, well, my mom did leave it to me and my aunties are saying I'm right, you know what I'm saying? He can feel like, let me side with my auntie because my dad grieving. So the dad already pissed off. You know what I'm saying? So no one's hands in this is clean. Not Traci's, not Big Kevin's, not Lil Kevin's, not the Braxton sisters or the Braxton parents. It started with Mama and Daddy Braxton. When Daddy Braxton cheated on Mama Braxton and then left her for the woman he's with now. He's been married to now, okay? Mama Braxton held on to that hate for him, that disdain, even 40 years later. And we see that in how they react to stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bunch of bullshit, okay? Now, the last scene that we see, which is because after that, Shy, when Tawanda said, me and Shy, we carried up over there because these hell. Tawanda, ooh, ball had lies, child, ball. Child, when I kept saying on social media, he was saying, Tawanda keeps saying how she called Lil Kevin Scratchy, and no one, they're like, who? When Tawanda kid said, who? Look, when your kids say, who was Scratchy? When your children ask who is Traci because they've never heard you call their cousin Traci, that means you don't call that boy. And I don't know why she's trying to make fetch happen. I don't know why. I don't know why. Okay. And because what sense did that make? We've never heard her call that boy Scratchy. No. Okay. Anyway. But they go to the little Airbnb and whatnot, okay? Because she wants to know what happened at the lawyer office, okay? Now both Trina and Tawanda are saying that Big Kevin is on some bullshit. That Big Kevin is jealous that Traci put Lil Kevin in charge of stuff. Now, your sister dead. You know, all you have left of her is her son and her husband. And now let's not forget, they felt like Traci was jealous of them because she never was an artist. Because remember, Traci was the wannabe. So now her husband is jealous because Traci left stuff for Lil Kevin, okay? And Lil Kevin did not say, Lil Kevin words was my dad is upset, and he said he felt blindsided. That's not jealousy. That's blindsided. Anyway, Trina didn't tell Tawanda. Well, you know, production, because they're in Maryland. Okay. In Maryland, that's where Big Kevin lived, Lil Kevin lived, the daddy and the brother, Mikey. So Trina then says to Tawanda, well, you know, production wanted Lil Kevin to meet up and talk with Big Kevin and Daddy on camera. And the fact that Tawanda instantly got pissed me off because Big Kevin is not a deadbeat father that wasn't around. Big Kevin is not a estranged ex-husband who wasn't around, and then when Traci died, he back. Big Kevin is the man who married Traci. He and Traci stayed together that whole time. He is little Kevin's father. So to be so upset that my throat is itchy. My throat is scratchy. For Tawanda to get so pissed that Trina said, why would there not be everybody talking about Big Kevin? Look, why would the show not be fair and let him tell his side of the story? Why would they not have a conversation between Lil Kevin and his daddy if that's where if y'all trying to heal shit? Because I don't think unless Traci told y'all, hey, film my son, don't film my husband. She ain't say that, did she? This is episode 4. In every episode, one of them have said something about Big Kevin. So now Trina said, this is why I have had pictures, so I can let it right now. Trina said when they suggested, she said, well, no, I don't want to give him a platform to film on. But how Tawanda like get evil with it, you know? She producer. The producer coming like, okay, well, what's up? You know, why would y'all suggest he was like, look, you know, it's the Braxtons. If y'all don't want it, it won't happen. But I was like, common sense is production feel like they've been filming y'all. They have been filming y'all for at this time, probably a couple weeks. And all of y'all is talking about something with Big Kevin. Why would they not get Big Kevin? Why would they not? And they probably got it from Toni. Because Toni at now maybe production asked Toni, and maybe Toni said that's a good idea. But Toni asked Trina. So Tawanda getting so pissed at production and saying, "Child," and this is such an evil ass way, a villain ass way. That man, she did not even say that individual will never be able to be on our platform, never again. I will never be on. And I'm like, that's your son. That's Traci's father. That is your nephew's father. Now we know we ain't seen Andre in ever. Okay. We saw your kids. We ain't seen their daddy in ever. Okay. Toni, we ain't seen your husband in ever. Trina, we know, may Gabe rest in peace. We never saw the kids' daddy. However, Big Kevin, in my opinion, ain't did nothing so horrible that y'all don't want that man to tell his side of the story. If Traci wanted the show to continue, if she wanted y'all to finish the story, how dare you exclude her husband? Unless that lawyer got Traci on camera saying, I don't want anyone film. I don't want Big Kevin. Unless you can show us that y'all dead ass wrong for trying to dog that man, ruin his character, because the fans are going to believe what they want to believe. And y'all have sat on the show for the past 4 episodes and talked cash money shit about Big Kevin. And at the mirror, and not for him to film with y'all, for him to film with his son and y'all daddy, because that's a conversation that needs to happen. And that's proof that they was raised to live in dysfunction. That's why Tawanda and Tamar can't fix their shit. Hell, that's why Traci and her shit with none of them know how to rectify a situation and fix it and move on. They live in a toxic shit until somebody die or get divorced. Mama and Daddy Braxton divorced. Toni Braxton and the boy daddy from the guy, was he in Shy? Carrie. Is it Carrie or Terry? I don't know. Toni's ex-husband divorced. Tamar and Vince divorced. Tamar and David broke up. Tamar and that white man broke up. You know what I'm saying? Tawanda and broke as Andre divorced. Trina, her first 2 husbands, with 2 divorces in the death. Okay. Traci and Kevin lived till death do us part. And Mick, who did I say? Oh yeah, Mick Edition. I said Shy. None of them know how to fix shit. And when anyone suggests let's fix it, we see the evil. And even though, look, and I also don't want anyone to feel like that I am only blaming Mama Braxton for the brokenness of the kids. The only reason I'm blaming Mama Braxton the most is because she ain't healed either. Daddy Braxton has seemingly moved on. He got remarried and he over there. You know, Mama Braxton is the one who we felt like and we saw she had not moved on from what Daddy Braxton did all those years ago. And because she didn't teach herself how to move past the hurt from that divorce and the cheatation, she passed that trait on to her daughters. Period. And a part of me feel like they are jealous that Traci and Big Kevin stayed together through whatever bullshit they went through. Whatever bullshit they went through it, and that was it. And they stayed through it and stayed together. We didn't hear Traci dogging Big Kevin, and we damn sure ain't never see Big Kevin dog Traci. The only accusations about Big Kevin came from the sisters. They the villains. They are the villains. And they are in this episode, in this season of life, the Braxton sisters, at least that damn Tawana and a little bit of Traci, I'm sorry, Tawana and Trina, are actively involved in not helping Big Kevin and Little Kevin heal their relationship through the loss of Traci. And when Trina said before how, well, Little Kevin basically lost his mom and daddy because y'all ain't helping fix the shit. They feel vindicated, and well, in the end, it's all about the Braxtons. In the end, we no longer have to put up with or deal with Big Kevin because Traci's gone. And he beefing with Little Kevin. And so we can live in that. And if we feel like we can just keep saying, well, he had that funeral, it wasn't a funeral. It's messy. So, Tamar trying to say, I'm a friend of the show. Girl, guilty. Toni, I'm busy, child, doing my show. You a big Toni is the only, I'll say, Toni is not guilty right now. Toni is far removed from it so far. And Toni was the only person trying to say, don't you think you should talk to Big Kevin? She's trying to fix it or trying to push them to fix it. But to me, Traci is gone. Trina is still feeling badly about Traci being gone. She's holding on to Tawanda. Tawanda's pissed at Big Kevin. Traci being gone. So Trina won't dare go against Tawanda. Tamar is over there lying on herself on the end by herself. You know what I'm saying? It's a mess. It's a mess. Everybody has their own little mess. The only one who's kind of out of all of it is Toni. Toni is trying to be out of all of it. She's like, girl, I am Toni Lee Braxton. Bitch, leave me alone. I don't have time at all. And we still don't know what happened with Lil Kevin and the rest. Even how Tawanda, he's in a messy. How was Lil Kevin divorced that messy? They ain't been married long enough for it to be that messy. So I'm like, are y'all trying to blame Lil Kevin's future ex-wife the same way y'all be trying to blame Big Kevin? Is that what it is? Because how can a marriage how can a divorce be so messy that didn't last that long? It was messy. I'm like, child, what Lil Kevin doing? What did the wife do? What was why did little Kevin have to go to court? What happened? The way they're trying to protect little Kevin, but burn out the daddy, don't make sense to me. Y'all see, little Kevin is suffering and he needs some love and affection, but y'all don't want to help him rebuild the bond with him and his daddy. Okay. This show does not need a second season. Whatever they do needs to be just this one season, one and done. If y'all came back together just to honor Traci and her wanting another season, you did it. I don't want the Braxton season 2 at all. It's not a fun show. It's not. And if y'all wanted this to be a show showing how y'all fix the rift between y'all as sisters, Lil Kevin and Big Kevin, cool. But Tawanda saying, I will never let that man have a platform here. Meaning you will never let the fans hear his side. So your sister wanted y'all to come back together as a family and do a show, but you want to exclude her husband. Okay. Tawanda's the villain. Okay, today, Tawanda is the villain. Okay, it's not my fault. She bald head, like what's that man name on? What's that man name on Austin Powers? What's the man name? The evil man. Anyway, she's an evil mastermind. Okay, it ain't my fault. Now she look good with a bald head. Okay, Tawanda looks good with a bald head. However, she also looked like an evil villain in a movie. Okay. Tawanda's alopecia has nothing to do with that. She's evil villain. Okay. If she did not have, even if she did not have alopecia and she shaved her head for Traci, she said she did, she is still the villain. Okay. Her alopecia has nothing to do with her. The same with Toni lupus has nothing to do with her being, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nothing has anything to do with nothing. Tawanda told you before, she made a decision to go bald and stop on her wigs. So I don't want anyone thinking I'm saying anything against anyone with alopecia. It has nothing to do with her alopecia. Anyway, that's all. I'm done. Okay, we've been on for 2 hours, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed. Tomorrow is Labor Day. I may go live tomorrow for a gospel chat. We shall see. Y'all like the video, share the video, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Okay, there's other content up as well. I had a great time with y'all. I am back. I've been gone for a week. I am back. Okay, but again, like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on social media at JayLeesCorner on IG, Twitter, and TikTok. I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Okay, but yeah, be good, be safe, and all of that. And I love you all. Bye.